Participants. Hey y'all, it's your girl, and you already know. Like, share, and subscribe. What's up, real deal? Y'all know I gotta keep it real when I come in this evening. I'm really kind of like under the weather, but I'm gonna come in here anyway, okay? Y'all know how I do it over here. I go ahead on with my reaction regardless who here or who's not, okay? So we need to go on and get started. We got two contents to cover, okay? We got two to cover, y'all. I'm feeling bad, but I'm gonna try to make it through. If I get tired, I just cut loose, okay? But me, I know me. The first video we are going to react to is the wife. A wife recalled moment husband shot answering the door. Okay. Now that don't sound right to me. What happening to peeping out your window, peeping out your blinds, unless you knew who it was at the door? You know what I mean? You conscious about who's at the door. So you just open up your door. I don't do that. So I'm just different from most people. So we're gonna get into this reaction about a young lady, not a young lady, a lady. I'm sorry. We're gonna get into a reaction by a lady. A wife recalls the moment her husband was shot, and a person left him like an SUV, y'all. Okay, she called out to her husband. I kept saying, Williams, Williams. When I got to the entranceway, he was laying there, shot in the head and in the mouth. And he was just bleeding. And she said she kept saying, William, don't leave me. I kept saying, William, don't leave me. Wake up, wake up, wake up. That's what the wife kept saying when she saw her husband on the ground. Now we're gonna react to this. Now, let me give you a little bit more information. This happened in Memphis, Tennessee. It has been more than a year since a man was shot after answering the door at his Whitehaven home. Okay. He passed away a few days later, y'all. But still, his killer hasn't been caught. Now, I'm curious about that. Now, Michelle Schilling is the wife. She's the victim, okay? Her husband is the victim. The victim wife is an emotional wreck. She says she don't sleep. When I close my eyes, I see him bleeding to his death. Her husband, Williams, was shot last June, y'all. Michelle was working from home as her husband answered a door at that door, answered a door knock at the door. We gunshot. We heard gunshot, but they just got we gunshots. Chili said. And I was like, wait a minute. Because she noticed that the sound too close. That sounds too close. So I was telling my customer to get down. She called out to her husband. I kept saying, William, William. When I got to the entranceway, he was laying there, shot in the head and in the mouth. And he was just bleeding, y'all. I kept saying, William, don't leave me. Wake up, wake up, wake up. This is what the wife was saying. Chili called 911. And when the paramedics arrived, William was still fighting for his life. Mother broken, her heart broken in search for, okay, now that's something. I asked them to please help my husband. Chili said paramedics rushed her husband to Region Medical Center in critical condition. I didn't get to see my husband until about 4 a.m. in the morning. They told us that he was brain dead, y'all, paralyzed from the neck down. He had no brain activity, y'all. Chili said. 3 days later, William took his last breath. Memphis police said the suspect got away in a 2018-2020 Hyundai Santa Fe. I just miss him so much, the wife said. We had plans. I have to figure out how to live without my best friend. If you know who killed 53-year-old William Shelley, you are urged to call Crime Stopper at 901-528-CASH. Your tip could help put a dangerous criminal behind bars and 4,000 in your pocket. Remember, all calls are confidential. Now, y'all, I'm going to react to this. I got a video to show, but I think I'm going to, first of all, my condolences go to the wife. But for him to unlock that door, for him, for Williams to open up that door without looking out that blind, or did he look out the blind? He wasn't expecting that. Is he fooling around? Did he have somebody else? Somebody jealous, allegedly. So we're going to take a look at this video and then we're going to come back and we're going to react, okay?
Passed away a few days later, but still his killer hasn't been caught.
His wife talked to WREG's Greg Hurst in this morning's Manhunt Monday.
I don't sleep. When I sleep, when I close my eyes, I see him bleeding to death.
Michelle Chillis is an emotional wreck. Her husband, William, was shot last June in their Whitehaven home. Michelle was working from home as her husband answered a knock at the door.
We heard gunshots, and I was like, wait a minute, that sounds too close. So I was telling my customer, get down.
And then called out to her husband.
I kept saying, William. And when I got to the entryway, he was laying there. Shot in the head, in the mouth. And he was just bleeding. And I kept saying, William, don't leave me.
Called 911, and when paramedics arrived, William was still fighting for his life.
Okay, let's react to this. Okay, let's react to this. Do William know this person? Have William ever acted around this person? Have he been around this person? This is something you got to ask yourself. I mean, y'all don't answer the door no more. Y'all don't look out the blind, look at your ring or nothing like that for y'all to open up. Y'all still just open up y'all doors like that expecting nothing not to happen. For a person to do something like that, it's crazy. He's jealous of somebody jealous of somebody.
Just help my husband. Please help my husband. Please help my husband. He's dead. Just help him.
Paramedics rushed her husband to Regional Medical Center in critical condition.
I didn't get to see my husband until then, about 4 o'clock that morning. And they told me that he was brain dead and paralyzed from the neck down. He had no brain activity.
3 days later, William took his last breath. Memphis police say the suspect got away in a 2018 to 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe. Officers released these pictures of the suspect's vehicle.
I just miss him. I miss him so much.
Sorry about that. I was muted. Yeah, that it's something ain't right about this. They left out in a big truck. One of was alone. Did a woman do this? Was she jealous of his relationship with his wife? Why she choose that day to come over there and do that? It's something ain't right about this.
Released these pictures of the suspect's vehicle.
I just miss him. I miss him so much. We had plans. Well, I figured live without my best friend.
But
Okay. She said her best friend. She called him her best friend. She don't say her husband. She said her best friend. That's her best friend, not her husband. But it's her husband. I don't know about this. They had plans, and he didn't make it to the plan.
she still doesn't know why anyone would want her husband dead. If you know who killed 53-year-old William
Something
Chillis,
ain't right about this. Something ain't right about this case. This what William had going on. William, I know you ain't living to know this, but it sounds like some young folks in this. It sounds like a young situation. Y'all know what I mean? It seemed like I wonder was he fooling around? Well, he engaged with somebody else, and they love him so much. You know, if she can't have, if I can't have, ain't nobody gonna have you. Something ain't right about this case. Something is not right. Cause they had plans.
When I sleep, when I close my eyes, I see him bleeding to death.
Michelle Chillis is an emotional wreck. Her husband William was shot last June in their Whitehaven home. Michelle was working from home as her husband answered a knock at the door.
We heard guns, and I was like, wait a minute.
See that part right there. I don't get that, y'all. I don't get that. 53-year-old man. Who else want to kill a 53-year-old man? All them people in that neighborhood, they had to know him. He answered the door. So he just opened up his door like that. Y'all still doing it? This is crazy. He opened up his door and let them in like that. Come on, y'all. Come on, y'all.
And it, that sounds too close. So I was telling my customer, get down.
And then called out to her husband.
I kept saying, William, William. And when I got to the entryway, he was laying there. Shot in the head, in the mouth.
Now he got shot in the head and the mouth, real deal. The head and the mouth. Come on now. The head and the mouth. That's crazy. Wonder do they know this person?
He was just bleeding. And I kept saying, wait, don't.
Called 911, and when paramedics arrived, William was still fighting for his life.
I asked him to just help my husband. Please help my husband. Please help my husband. He's dead. Just help him.
Paramedics rushed her husband to Regional Medical Center in critical condition.
I didn't get to see my husband until then. About
Y'all think William was a player? Y'all think William was a player? We're gonna put up here, let's react. I think William was a player. I don't know why. I think William was a player. William got caught up with some young good, and that young good had to show him that you're not gonna play with me. That's what it sounds like. Y'all tell me what y'all think.
O'clock that morning, and they told me that he was brain dead and paralyzed from the neck down. He had no brain activity.
3 days later, William took his last breath.
Wow.
Memphis police say the suspect got away in a 2018 to 2020 Hyundai Santa Fe. Officers released these pictures of the suspect's vehicle.
I just miss him. I miss him so much. We had plans. Well, I gotta figure out how to live without my best friend.
But she still doesn't know why anyone would want her husband dead.
See, that's what I'm saying. Real deal, y'all put in the reaction what y'all think about that, because this shouldn't be that hard. Where he used to hang out at, who he run with, what's going on. So we're gonna dive into another content. We're gonna dive into Blueface, okay? But if y'all hear anything, call Crime Stopper 528-68SH. I don't see no we're gonna jump into Blueface now, okay? Okay. See, I thought about y'all. I just ain't feeling good. Now this the series I don't seen Blueface. The series that y'all remember when he was sentenced, for the strip club thing, right? We're gonna get into this. Okay.
Good morning, Your Honor. So the court has properly reiterated the terms of the negotiation. I think since Mr. Ports went into some of the detail, I think it's important for the court to have some context and understand why this negotiation is the way it is. While it is certainly true that Mr. Traylor was involved in a fight with people at the strip club, Mr. Porter was not involved in that fight. And what happened later was Mr. Traylor went to his vehicle and then drove very slowly up to a group of people who he felt had aggrieved him in the fight and rolled down his window and displayed a firearm, causing other people to jump back. And then he sped into a group of people, ended up hitting a woman and hitting other cars, and then took off. And that's at the moment when the conduct from our client occurs. So while I'm not here to minimize it in any way, it's dangerous, there's no doubt, but there is a lot from Mr. Traylor that led up to this. And I think the court should also be aware Mr. Traylor is suing Mr. Porter, the nightclub. The nightclub is being sued by the woman who got hit by Mr. Traylor. I mean, there is a lot of moving parts here. But then Mr. Traylor met up with friends over at Town Center in a parking lot, didn't call the police. He was in his employer's work truck, and he must have realized the next day that he needed to explain why he got into an accident and hit these other cars in his employer's work truck. And only then did he decide to make a police report. And he did have some kind of a graze wound on his hand. Again, no one here to minimize that. I think the court needs to understand that there's a dynamic here. I think because of the civil litigation, Mr. Porter's probably going to opt not.
Recordings just got better. Hey,
But I'll let him decide that. The negotiation is reasonable given the circumstances of this case. The other incident that Mr. Ports references has to do with taking a cell phone from a woman, and that is who was filming him, and the woman was actually punched by a female colleague of Mr. Porter's. But again, not trying to minimize, I we didn't come in here to minimize. We came in here to say that the negotiation is reasonable and the court should follow it. He does live in California and will be seeking interstate compact transfer under the interstate compact agreement. We believe that an underlying sentence of 12 to 36 months is appropriate versus the state's position of 4 to 10. Mr. restitution request in this case, I noted from the probation report, and I assume that's because Mr. Traylor is going to pursue his remedies in some civil suit. And it does appear that Mr. Porter has credit time served for 22 days by my read of the probation report. So we would ask that the court, I don't think that there's any opposition to the order out. I thought that the strip corridor ended at Sahara.
I did too, and that's why I was curious to see if there was a separate order related, because I think what the focus is if he's going to be interstate compacting, obviously,
Right.
Limited issue there, but if he's going to be here, the request being made that to the extent casinos and sort of those environments might be not appropriate during the probation.
Right.
I understand the ask, I just wanted to see how it covered it, and they know that they changed it somewhat recently, and I don't have a copy of it here, that's why.
I mean, if you wanted to include it to strip corridor to the 95, that's fine. I think you could just say it that way. I just don't think that the traditional order out region covers downtown.
But he's not otherwise seeking to not have an order out or be employed in those areas or anything like that.
We're not opposing it. He doesn't live here and it's fine and that's fine.
Mr. Porter, is there anything that you would like to say on your own behalf today? I appreciate that you have the other matter pending. But it's up to you entirely. This is your opportunity to say something, but you're certainly not. Okay. Mr. Porter's going to decline to speak on his own behalf today.
Your Honor, I'm sorry, I forgot. Ms. Wildeveld is reminding me. There's one thing in the PSI that's not accurate.
Okay.
In the criminal history, it shows that there's a restraining order. That was dismissed.
Which page are we looking at? 3 or 4?
Yeah, I think page 4. It's
At the bottom of the
It's at the very bottom, supplemental information. That restraining order was dismissed in August.
All right, it looks like it just had, when they found that the original expiration term, it wasn't, they were not aware that it had been dismissed.
Right,
I did not
yeah.
rely on that in any way for today, focusing on the prior history and in all candor, the weapon history, but we'll make that note for the record here today. that although there apparently was a protective order.
Okay, y'all, in this situation right here on Monday, Clark County District Court, Judge Keelan and Delaney ruled that Blueface would be sentenced to up to 36 months on probation as part of his probation. He is not allowed to have weapons, guns, as well as no other alcohol or drugs. He is not allowed to have contact with the victim. Blueface has also been ordered to stay out of the strip corridor and downtown corridor unless it is work related. Ooh,
It's not currently operating.
Okay, great, thank you.
It's time now to hear from Mr. Trailer. Are you ready to come up, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to be at council table or at the podium? Okay, come on up. Before you give your testimony, the clerk will speak. Swear you in before you speak.
Please raise your right hand. You do solemnly swear the testimony you're about to give in this action shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth so help you God.
Yes, ma'am.
Please state your full name, spelling your first and last name for the record.
Kentavious Trailer, KentaB as in boy, IUS, last name Trailer, TRAYLOR.
And Mr. Trailer, what is your testimony today for the court?
So first of all, I just want to start by saying thank you, Judge. I'm just completely disappointed in this complete process, actually. From the DA to his representation, to him, to everything. It's just all been a complete drop of the ball on my end. I have complete lost faith in the justice system. This crime has done nothing but take a toll on my life since the day it happened. I haven't been able to get work. Everything has gone down the drain. I just feel like this has not been done on my case. I mean, this hasn't been done on my behalf. I know people who get more time for stealing bubble gum. Honestly, I know people who do more time for stealing TVs than they do for shooting somebody. I'm just completely disappointed in all of this. I hate the way my name was ridiculed in the social media before I could even find out about it. Like I said, just this complete process has been a complete drop of the ball. That's all I got to say about it. It's a complete drop of the ball, and that's it. It is what it is.
And Mr. Trailer, I really appreciate you expressing the frustrations that you have, and I know that the outcome here today won't change that because what the negotiation is has a certain range of sentence and a certain
but
aspect
even that, like I said, I feel like those terms and conditions, I know myself included, would have more than that for domestic violence, for this or that. He has this going over multiple states, multiple this, multiple that. You guys are all
got Medicare, then you may not know this, but you.
Yeah, I understand what that guy right there said.
arguing semantics on can he come here to make money, and so he doesn't deserve to be here. He doesn't deserve to be out and walking around. He doesn't deserve any of that, honestly. But because he has a little bit of money and a little bit of a name, you guys are going to give him that, and that's okay. But just at the end of the day, like I said, I just want to say my piece, and like I said, I'm completely disappointed in all of this.
Understood. Mr. Trailer, and I'm not trying to convince you anything otherwise, and I'm not having a dialogue with you here. I'm just trying to give you the wrap up here that we are going to conclude this case. It sounds like you have another process pending. So
but that has nothing to do with how I feel about this in general.
Yeah, not a dialogue. I'm just sharing some information with you, okay? I understand that. I'm not trying to convince you of anything different. I'm trying to tell you that we're going to complete this process here today. To the extent that it closes out this process, good or bad, obviously bad from your perspective, it will close it out. And I hope that you'll use the other process to find whatever relief it is that you are seeking, it not meaning whatever I presuppose any outcome there, but just that there is another avenue. And the court is going to act within the parameters of what it has here and bring this matter to a close. But I can assure you, I'm not giving anybody any breaks because of any status they have or money they have. I'm working within a system and within a negotiation, and I trust my counsel to make negotiations for reasons, and I appreciate that that's not going to sit well with you. I just thank you for your time here today. and letting us know how you feel about it,
Yes, ma'am.
because that's important.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Taylor. You may
Appreciate
take
you.
your seat if you wish to stay. At this time, the court will proceed with the
He
sentencing.
took a picture of he took a picture of y'all saw that. He took a picture of Blueface. Whoa, I ain't never seen nobody do that in court.
Mr. Porter, and as per negotiations, we will go ahead. I'm going to give an opportunity of probation to Mr. Porter. Same discussion with you, Mr. Porter, that I had with another gentleman this morning. You are here and doing probation here, unless and until you are affirmatively approved, meaning given actual permission by the probation department to travel out of state, whether it be a travel pass initially or your interstate compact, but you have to be here doing your probation. And I'm going to go through the terms and conditions and your underlying sentence and all the specifics. And I want to emphasize something here before I even get to that point. I don't typically go through the standard conditions of probation one by one because I don't feel it's necessary. I know that they're applicable, and then figure when you go through your orientation process and all that. Someone who has some prior history may be familiar already with some of those things. But the main point that I have for you here is the weapons, is the guns. You know you cannot have guns. There's no confusion on that point. And if you choose to roll with guns, then that's your choice. But I will tell you, if you get caught doing that, you get brought back here on any kind of probation violation, especially anything involving weapon, I will not hesitate to put you in prison for a significant period of time. You are playing with your liberty, your life, obviously, but you're playing with your liberty if you're going to have guns and do anything that's going to violate your probation in that regard. I don't want there to be any confusion. I hear people who say things about, I didn't realize I couldn't, do this or that or have pictures with them or whatever. No, 0 guns around you where you are of any kind. And that needs to be quite clear. Somebody just handed me the order out, and it looks like Sahara to Russell does not cover downtown. So I'm going to account for that. So I'm going to adjudicate Mr. Porter this time guilty of discharge firearm at or into occupied structure via aircraft or watercraft. His underlying sentence will be a minimum of 24, maximum of 60 months in the Nevada Department of Corrections, suspended with probation not to exceed 36 months. He will have.
Here's how you get your child to.
They need to go. I thought he done had some weapons in his hand since their situation.
And math if they're struggling with it. My son has been.
What's happening?
DNA question fee, $150 DNA analysis fee. As we noted, no restitution being requested. We do have, I'm not going to impose a fine. I do have the standard conditions of probation, as I noted, including any weapon requirements applicable. Special conditions will include, and we'll just start there because that was the discussion, that he is ordered to stay out of the strip corridor. And he's also ordered to stay out of any gaming facility, institutions, or what would be indicated as the downtown corridor, the equivalent of the strip corridor. So effectively, and again, until he interstate compacts, he can only be in those areas if he has work application or some other legitimate basis to be there, not as a pastime, as a just killing time in the areas in any way, shape, or form. And so the order out is for the strip corridor and the downtown corridor. We will also require him to have no contact whatsoever with Mr. Traylor or his family. I appreciate that it sounds like others are having contact. I'm not going to say on your behalf, but directly when you're directing it, but clearly that's happening. To the extent that there can be any effort to ensure that Mr. Traylor is not being harassed for this situation or having contact, so be it. But your obligation is no contact that you initiate or that you initiate through anyone else by any means or medium of any kind. We want you to understand that I think impulse control counseling would benefit here as well to make better choices in the future in these circumstances. No use, possession, or control of alcohol or drugs, that includes marijuana. I take that very seriously for all probationers, so we have compliant probation. I want you to have structure to your probation, so full-time employment is required to comply with any curfew that may be imposed, report within 48 hours, so no later than Wednesday, to the probation department to get started on the process. Do not take for granted that you need to be doing all of these things and that somehow someone's going to look the other way on that. You need to report, you need to be compliant at all times. And in addition to the standard search clauses, I have one special search clause that any digital storage media.
That's remember that.
Computers, handheld communication devices, network applications, associated with devices, social media and web search services are also need to search. You must write all passwords, unlock codes, and account information associated with those items with or without a search warrant at the request of division of parole and probation or its agents. As to the count 2 adjudication, that is the battery misdemeanor. Also, this magistrate give you credit for time served. So your probation's only going forward on the 1 count, but you do have a significant sentence hanging over your head. It's not the max the state asked for, but it is still significant. I'm not undermining any of your prior history. I'm looking at this case and the circumstances as I understand them, but I do want to be clear that, again, I will not hesitate for you to spend a significant amount of time in prison in the state of Nevada if you do not comply with this probation in all respects and you do not stay away from those weapons and any of that comes to light for us, all right? I think the other counts were already dismissed out of the negotiation, but to the extent counts 1 and 3 had not been dismissed, I believe those should be dismissed today.
Yep.
And then if there were any, other counts found over prior to that, those would also be dismissed today. Is there anything that we did not cover?
I don't think so, Your Honor. Thank you so much.
I had a bond. I need to
Yes.
a bond. So yeah, didn't forget that.
Yes.
Thank you for the court catching that.
Yeah.
All right, thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nice seeing you.
I have next up the Hughes matter on page 13.
Now you have Blueface. Now Blueface, you know you don't supposed to have no guns on you. So do what you need to do. And I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I just wanted to come in here a little minute and speak to y'all, give y'all a little video. Like I said, I'm under the weather. But y'all get a chance to hit the like button and enjoy the rest of your evening, okay? I'm out.